It's Big Mouthy.
So let's talk about your childhood. Were you interested in like marketing, social media, cameras when you were a kid, or it just kind of?
I actually had no idea what I wanted to do when I was growing up. I wanted to be a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, and then I took a test. Like in FIU, they have like a test of which major you should take. So I did that test, and they were like, "Oh, you should be in public relations." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to be in public relations." So that's why I signed up for.
Yeah.
Public relations, advertising, and applied communications. That was like the major. Graduated out of that, and I was like, I really like social media. Let's see if there's a career in social media.
Sure.
And there was. And so I did my first freelance client in Miami. It was, I think, just one client, and they paid me well. But Miami was really expensive, so I couldn't like live anywhere.
Yeah.
But I did that.
You started out freelance.
So I did, yeah, I started out freelance, and then I did a few internships. But then I got a job as a social media coordinator, and that was like my first real job, my first full-time, but I was also going to school. So that's that. But I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Sure.
Ever.
And so how did that evolve to you coming to Charlotte and then, really diving into your freelance gigs and whatnot? Like, were you scared? Because you now have the opportunity to work like full-time regular jobs, and then now you also do the freelance stuff. So was it like a scary jump to do that fully?
So in the beginning, no, because I had a full-time job, but I only had one client as freelance. And then I got another client from my old job. I reached out to that client. He needed social media help. So I basically told him, hey, I can help you. Gave him a contract, and he signed. I had two clients when I was working at, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this full-time, but I need more clients.
Right.
So I just started reaching out to my friends and asking them, hey, if you know someone or a business owner who needs social media, let me know, and I can like help. So I got 2 referrals from doing that, and I got another 2 clients, and then one of my clients actually got another referral for me. So right now I run 6 clients.
Oh, wow.
And just full-time. And I started full-time without wanting to be full-time.
Yeah.
It was like, it clicked. It was like, I've always wanted to do work for myself. I never wanted to work for anyone ever again.
Okay, so like now that you're doing the freelance full-time, what do you think the benefits of, vice versa are? Like, what do you think the pros and cons to freelance? What do you think the pros and cons to working in a corporate world?
I think in a corporate world, I was always afraid of like getting laid off or being fired, which is ironic. But then I realized that freelancing and having your own business is the same thing. You can fucking fail. You can be basically fired from your job or fired from clients, and they might not want to work with you ever again. But you always have the opportunity to find another job, another client. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just scarier in the sense that you're on your own and you have to depend on yourself instead of someone else, which is fucking terrifying because I was like, how do I even, like, if I lose a client, will I be okay? And I will be, because I have savings, but like obviously like a lot of people don't have the opportunity. So you can always go back to the corporate world. It's always there. So that's what always keeps me like sane, I guess.
Yeah, especially nowadays where like everybody does social media.
Everyone does, yeah.
What have you done to differentiate yourself from other people, doing the same thing?
So in Charlotte, there's a big food and beverage industry. I don't want to do food and beverage ever again. So I do have 3 who are food and beverage, but I think the other 2 or 3 are more like interior design and architecture, where I want to kind of like dominate in that field, and I feel more comfortable doing that. And it's luxury. It's not like just some random guy who just like builds and shit. And obviously the roofing company is not food or beverage, and it's just a little harder because you have to prove that you can get sales or leads, but also tell them like social media is not for sales or leads unless you're doing paid marketing. I just want to make sure that they all know it's not for sales and it's for brand identity and brand awareness. Another thing is that food and beverage is everyone does food and beverage here. It's such a big dominated like field. Everyone does the same shit over and over again. So that's the only thing that differentiates me. I don't want to do food and beverage at all.
Fair enough. I mean, there's so many restaurants in Charlotte.
Exactly.
But there's also a lot of real estate, a lot of buildings being built, a lot of new people coming in, businesses coming in.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how have you been able to, you found your niche, Hey, let's talk about Mila for a second. Why? Let's talk about like explain if you feel comfortable the
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
why
yeah.
you call it that, the story behind it, and all that stuff. I know a little
Okay.
bit of it, but I'm interested to hear a little bit more.
So I didn't want it to be like my thing, like fucking Jasmine
Yeah.
creative or like Gonzalez creative. I didn't want that. So I really thought about a different name to use. Mila just has always been a thing for me, and a lot of people tell me I look like Mila Kunis sometimes. So that's how I got that name. I just didn't want that to be part of my identity either. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to differentiate Jasmine Gonzalez and Mila Creative. I didn't want it to be the same person because a lot of people do that, and then they lose themselves very quickly
Right.
if their identity is their brand. So that's why I wanted to differentiate, and I wanted to eventually become a team
Yeah.
instead of Jasmine.
That makes
You know,
sense.
I wanted to be people under me or contracted people that work for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I
So like
chose Mila.
large vision.
Yeah.
10 years down the line, you want to
Exactly.
be like the CEO of Mila and have
Right.
people doing what you're doing now, going out,
Exactly.
filming, editing, all that stuff. And
Exactly.
you want to be like the head of that. That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
So you
That's
wanna
why
be,
I learned that I shouldn't be putting my name on it, just because for brand purposes.
Sure. Yeah. So like when you do scale it up,
Yeah,
it's no longer just Jasmine. It's now Mila. So that's
It's a
smart.
team.
Yeah, it's a team.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart.
yeah.
What do you hate about social media? Like we talk about what you like. What do you dislike about social media? 'Cause I know there has to be at least one or two things that you despise or dislike about social media.
I hate that the algorithm always fucking changes. It's always evolving. It's always changing. You have to really catch up. And obviously, I'm very used to like fast-paced things. I used to work as a barista, so
Okay.
it's like I need to be on top of my shit. However, with social media, it's always changing, and I'm really scared that it'll just not exist ever again.
Yeah.
And then I would have to pivot my entire life, basically. But also, like, that's the thing. It's the beauty of it. It's like it's nice that it's changing, and you don't always get bored
Yeah.
of what you're doing.
That's true.
So yeah,
So
that's the only thing.
were you nervous the first time TikTok got banned a few months ago?
Oh my god, I was terrified. But I was really happy because I was like, I don't have to create content for TikTok
Yeah.
anymore. And it's always like, I do make their TikToks too. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do TikTok anymore. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so tiring. I prefer Instagram and Facebook, but also like, yeah, I have to create a different content calendar for TikTok specifically,
Yeah.
and for any other platform. But Facebook and Instagram are very closely related, so
Yeah.
it's more comfortable for me. But TikTok was just like, okay, I don't have to do TikTok anymore. But I was like kind of bummed. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
I was really more upset about CapCut being banned personally myself because like
Wait, because CapCut got banned too. I was
Yes.
like, I hate this.
Yeah, so like when TikTok got banned at the same time, CapCut was owned by the
Yeah.
same people. So I was more upset. I logged into Edit. I was like, cause I mean, I'm using Adobe.
Wait, I haven't
but
even used Edit. Is it fun?
I
Is
haven't
it
used
good?
No, I haven't used Edit just
Okay,
yet.
okay.
But the same day that TikTok got banned, I signed up for like the
Oh yeah.
I pre-ordered it, and I think it just came out a few days ago
Yeah, it
actually.
did.
But I haven't used it yet. I'm interested to see if the algorithm can it tell that you edit it in Edit,
So
and then
that's an interesting thing. In Threads, there was a lot of people saying that edits on the bottom, like fine print, it actually says it'll be optimized for Instagram. So anything you edit on edit, it'll be optimized on Instagram, on your feed, because you go directly. I think you edit the video and then you can post directly on the app
Wow.
to Instagram.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, do I need to get on edits now?
Right,
And
geez.
I just love CapCut because it's just so much easier. But
Yeah.
I haven't looked through edits yet.
Yeah, I hope they add a feature, especially on TikTok app, to schedule things out. I know you can do it online, but
Stop.
I literally, I do skits and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I was posting my skits manually, getting like 1,000 a video. Great. I scheduled it out a few days ago. Each video got 1 view, 6 views. It was literally like cut it in half. And then I deleted the video, re-uploaded the same video, same caption, everything, got back up to like 500 views, 1,000 views. So it's like, are they like
Interesting.
shadow banning for
For scheduling?
scheduling it?
But do you schedule it through Instagram?
It was on TikTok. I scheduled it through like TikTok online, the website online.
Oh,
So
I see
don't-
what you mean.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
Meta, Instagram, I had no issue with scheduling,
Huh.
but I don't
So
know.
TikTok is an issue. Okay. I mean, I think. I mean, I've been posting on trial reels lately.
yeah.
And I've just been like posting a shit
Does
ton of
that work?
things. It actually tells me when I should be posting and if I should post it or not.
Hmm.
So I posted just one video, I think. Let me see.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, the last video I posted, it got 4,000 views, and
Yeah.
it was at 500 when I put it on trial reels. And they were like, post it now so you can get your bang out of your book, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And I got 4,000 views for a really dumb video.
Was it a personal one or one for business?
No, it was a personal one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though.
I've been trying to post more on my personal,
Yeah.
so people know what I do and whatnot.
But it's hard as a social media creative. Like, you spend so much time with businesses and your freelance
Dude,
stuff
no,
that we
because
forget.
I forget to post on my personal, and I'm like, I
Yes.
need to actually brand myself so people recognize that I do social media, but
Yes.
also like I don't want to post about myself, and I don't want to post on my of me, I
Yeah.
guess. And you have to, like, you can't not do that and be a social media manager. You have to prove to your clients that you actually know social media. Because if for example, we hired you because you had a big social media platform
Yeah.
overall, just like you as a brand and you as a person, and we were like, okay, this person knows social media, so that's why we wanted to
Yeah.
hire you, basically.
Because you can come into a brand that has 50,000 followers and then leave. You would never, like, the company, if somebody's hiring you or a client, they would
Yeah.
never know that you created that or you created that.
Exactly.
But if you have your own brand or business, they can tell that, like, okay, this face
Yeah.
has been doing it constantly over there. This is somebody I want on my team. So that's something I
Yeah.
really strive to do. That's the reason I want to start this
Obviously, yeah.
little podcast. It doesn't even have a name yet. I just wanted to get out and talk to other creatives just
Okay.
to.
I'm sorry, I'm making sure it's fucking on.
Yeah, no, it's like it
Okay.
turns off the screen. But yeah,
Okay.
just to remind myself that there is more than just marketing for a business. Like, you
Yeah.
have to market yourself now more than ever when everybody's doing almost the
I know
exact
everyone's
same
doing
thing.
the same shit, man. And I'm
Yes.
thinking of like different ways to differentiate myself, especially because everyone's doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
what do I do? Like, do I make an account from Mila Creative?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like I should, but also I don't want to, just because it's not in the phase where I want it to be yet. Because my website doesn't have what I want it to have, and I don't have a structured package for each client.
Yeah.
Or a package period, because everyone has different budgets, and I'd like to cater to that. I like
Yeah.
to cater to different budgets, and I don't want to be like, okay, this is X, Y, and Z amount for every single client. Like, I don't believe in that. I believe that we should be tailoring every client and every brand differently.
Yeah.
Because they're all so different. And especially if you do different brands, like a roofing company is not going to do the same thing that does, and it's not
course.
going to have the same budget, and it's not going to have the same goals. So that's like kind of the contrast about it all. I
Yeah,
guess,
and then when you eventually scale your business, or you keep growing,
yeah.
the company that has $1 million marketing budget and the company that has a small mom and pop
Exactly.
shop, you're selling yourself short even if you put it in the middle. So it's like, I definitely get that.
Yeah, so for small business owners, I know, like, for food, they don't have a very limited budget, so I understand that. And then architects, they do want more work as well. Like, so it's like demand. They demand more. So for food, it's kind of easy. You create content and you post it. For architects, they expect a different caliber of content. So you have to tailor to that. You have to get your camera out. You have to do better video. You have to work with an actual videographer if that's the case, and give different results, I guess.
Yeah.
Because people want authenticity when it comes to food, but people want tailored experiences for higher end luxury items.
That makes
If
sense.
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. You got to cater the content towards the client, or
Yeah.
if you're really just. I mean, I guess you can. I think like a lot of, and you worked in agency work. Like, did you see, when you were working agency, did you see like that happening a lot, where you would just have like a one size fit all type of content package, or were you actually? Because I've never worked in like an agency setting.
So I
like,
worked
is
with
that
an
different?
agency. I worked with two agencies. The first one, it was in Miami, and it was mostly architecture or real estate. So that was like my main focus, and that's what I managed. But going to Charlotte, I worked at another agency that I will keep unnamed, that had only a few food and then a few different like nonprofits. So I think their philosophy wasn't great, just because it was like copy paste. Like, you're gonna be posting 3 to 5 times a week, or not even, like, it was like 3 times a week. You have to be the same brand and voice, and it was just not. It didn't make sense to me. I felt like she wanted a specific brand and voice for every single little thing, and it was just like it showed throughout the brands. It showed like, this is the same person that keeps posting the same things on these different accounts. Like, I know who did this, and I don't want to look like an agency. I want every single post, every single brand to look different and differentiate. Like, on my website right now, I have screenshots feed previews, they all look so different.
Wow.
They all look like that's not the same person, because
Yeah.
there's one with graphics and more like a grungy look, because a roofing company is more, it's male dominated, so it's like it looks clean but also like dirty in a way because it's roofing. And then the interior designer, refined, luxury, just clean white lines and all that. It's just so different.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for, people out there that looking to get into the social media space, or looking to get to like the freelance, if they're already in social media space, looking to take that leap and do their own thing?
I think just be very transparent when it comes to what you can do for a client, because starting off, I did have one client, but I also had a full-time job. Just be very transparent with what you can provide and be like, hey, I have a full-time job, but I can also do this and this for you on the weekends.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. That's how I started. I did either after work, in my lunchtime, or on Saturday and Sundays, and that's how I kind of I built that brand separately from my full-time. So I think just starting slow, I know, starting slow is the best way. Like just get used to it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have a social media account. You don't have to do anything. Just have your brand as a person.
That makes sense.
And get referrals that way. Like, hey, reach out to people that you know. Or like, I don't know, like text a friend, hey, like I really want to be in social media. So do you have a friend who needs help? Yeah. So that's how I would.
All about
That's
networking.
the advice I would give. My website is milacreative.co. My Instagram handle is Jasmine C. Gonzalez. And I will be posting more of my creative content and my creative journey through that. Just not yet. Just stay tuned to that.
I appreciate you, Jasmine. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's Big Mouthy.